Hi, this is Brendan Davis from Bedrock Games, and today I'm going to talk about something a little bit off topic, more in the realm of history than gaming, I suppose. But there is some crossover. Today I went to Salem with my wife to the Salem Witch Museum. We live on the North Shore of Boston, so we like to go into Salem a lot because we're literally like 2 minutes away, maybe 10 minutes, and Salem's it's a bit like going into Boston without dealing with all the traffic and stuff. It's like I mean, it's not exactly like Boston. It doesn't have as many sites, but if you want a fun day, it's a nice little place to go, and you don't really have to worry too much about traffic and parking and all the things that you normally do worry about when you go into Boston. So, I had been meaning to take her to the Salem Witch Museum for some time, just because she had expressed interest in it. And I had been there once when I was a kid, but in the intervening years, I've only heard, tidbits about it. I don't really remember much. I think I remember maybe being scared because it was the presentation there was a little bit on the spooky side, and I was probably about 8 years old or so. But anyways, we went there and I don't know. I just was struck by how terrible it was. I mean, we had a good time. Like we enjoyed ourselves. So I guess on the one hand, it's not that bad. But you know, I took a couple of courses in witchcraft and European history and the Salem witch trials when I was in college, and I had some books on it, and this just struck me as very. I mean, again, I'm no expert. I don't want to pass myself off like an expert, but I think I know a thing or two about it, and this was just they got some things very right, but boy did they. They were making these sweeping claims about about ancient paganism surviving all through the Middle Ages, and they even seemed to suggest that the people tried for witchcraft were maybe Wiccan or something of that nature, and it just was stuff that I don't know. None of the textbooks I've ever read on the subject really support any of the stuff they were saying. And I know that there was a theory put out in I think the early 20s by a woman named Dame Margaret Murray. I might have the name wrong, but that's pretty thoroughly discredited at this point. So. Now again, it's a it's a museum. It's not really. It's more of an attraction, I think, and it had a certain campy quality to it that was it sort of had this '70s Hammer Studio soundtrack going on, and really what they have is a series of mannequins which they shine lights on and narrate as they do so. But I don't know. I just kind of wish there was a more accurate, more objective witch museum in Salem. It was a little disappointing. I mean, I'm sure people that are fans of it might object to me saying that. I don't know. Maybe some people love it, and maybe some people think it's accurate, and they disagree with me. If they do, please comment. But I don't know. Just based on what I was taught about it, the thing. The aspects of it they got wrong were glaringly bad, and I don't know. I mean, it's again, it's I don't know how these things work in Salem. I don't know who decides. I don't know if they get accredited or what. How one opens a museum. But I mean, I've been to like the Hawthorne House, and they're not too bad. Do you know what I mean? I've been to a couple of the other places, and I mean, there's always I think a little bit of a compromise when you're a tourist spot and you're also sort of trying to curate history. But I went there and I remember they have lectures at the Hawthorne House and all kinds of things, and they usually bring in people who know what they're talking about. So it's so I mean Salem has places like that, but this was just like I don't know what this was. It felt like a '70s horror movie to me, and it felt like a '70s horror movie with an agenda. And I'm sure all my viewers who don't even live in Massachusetts could care less or have no idea what I'm talking about. I mean, they know about the Salem witch trials, but the Witch Museum is probably so off their radar they don't care. But I just found myself when I got home I was just I don't know a little bit furious, I think. And my wife's not from the United States, so like this is for her, this was like really her first introduction into the history of the Salem witch trials. So I don't know if anybody knows like a good movie that's pretty accurate, or maybe another attraction that's pretty accurate. I'd certainly like to for them to mention it in the comments, so I could get something else to give to my wife, so she has some more material. I mean, I don't want to drop like a textbook on her or something. I don't think she's that interested in it, but definitely this was, I don't know, this just I just really was. I mean, I kind of knew going in. I was, I'd heard things from people, but I didn't know how bad it would be, and it was. I don't know. I just I think that it's just a shame that Salem doesn't have a better. I don't know. I'm at a loss for words here. This was just, it was, I mean, just to give you an idea of what it sounded like. If you've ever seen the old rotoscope Lord of the Rings movie, that's what the narration sounded like, and it was that melodramatic, and they were trying to instill the fear of God in you during the presentation. So it already was kind of, getting into non history based territory, I think, there. But then just with the overarching agenda of, well, but this all goes back to ancient pagan times, and then, you know what I mean? It just was, I don't know. So, anyways, that was my my day today, and I found that when it got time to do this video, I didn't want to talk so much about my original topic, which was going to be, I think, evil adventuring parties or something along those lines. I was still kind of burning with with rage from the Salem Witch Trial Museum. So I don't know. I'll put some links at the bottom. I don't know if I'm going to put a link to the museum, but I'll put some links to witch trial related things, I suppose. And again, if anybody has any recommendations for viewing or attractions in the Massachusetts area that I might not be aware of, certainly put them in the comments. But yeah. So all right. Bye.